Okay, hi everyone. So am I audible to all? Okay, great, Pankaj. Thanks a lot. So, hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening as per your time zone. So I welcome you all to the Network Journey official CCIE Enterprise Lab Infrastructure Lab bootcamp, in which now today and tomorrow we're gonna see the 2 days free trial class where I'm gonna explain you about the topics that are present in your CCIE enterprise infrastructure, as well as I gonna answer your questions, and we're gonna take some advanced topics or intermediate and advanced topic as well. So we will do the practical lab of that as well. Okay, so my name is Shank, and I will be your instructor for this course. And to start with me, let me introduce about myself. So let me first share my screen, just a second. Okay, so you guys able to see my screen, right? Okay, so my name is Shank, and I'm gonna take your NCCI Enterprise course. About me, I am triple CCI certified, CCI in routing switching, service provider, and data center. I am also CCD written qualified as well, and I also done VCP and VBMware certified professional. So about me, I'm having overall years, 12, 13 years of experience in the networking industry, where I worked in enterprise company or service provider companies. The roles I worked is from starting from the network engineer up to the solution architect, your cloud consultant, pieces engineer, all the roles I worked on. And design, I design a lot of data centers, from the brownfield data centers to the greenfield as well. And the technologies I worked is almost all routing protocol I worked, apart from RIP. RIP we not used nowadays, and MPLS, BGP. Then your data center technologies, ACI, SD-WAN, VXLAN, LIPS, and VBlock as well. Okay, so that's all about me. So uh, I request you guys to give your introduction, around 4 or 5 people, so that I can know about what is your expectation related to this course. So what I want is your name, your location, your current role, and what are your expectations from this course. Okay, so anyone, 4 or 5 people, can please provide your introduction. Thank you. So guys, you can speak, you can unmute, and you can speak. No, David, I'm not able to hear you. Okay, so backend team, can you please provide unmute access so that they can unmute? So those who want to speak, kindly raise your hand so that we can unmute you.
Yes.
Hello, my name is Donnie Williams. I'm in Colorado, in the United States. My desire is to kind of progress from CCNP to CCIE, transition at Cisco, so I could start working at a senior level.
Okay, great, David.
Yes, thank you. My name is David. Yeah, I'm in Belgium, in Brussels. Yeah, I worked like a network administrator for almost 5 or 6 years. In this moment, I'm at home. I got a decision to study for my CCIE. That's why I'm here.
Okay, great. Welcome, David. Yes, Shiva.
Hi, this is Shiva Kumar. Currently, I'm working as a network engineer. Totally, I have 8.5 years of experience. I'm from Bangalore. So, yeah, I'm CCNP. So, I'm just looking for towards CCIE.
Okay, great, Shiva. Welcome.
Thank you.
Hello, Shank. Can you hear me?
Yes, you do. Yes, man. Tell me.
Yes, Shank. Because I want to introduce myself because everybody is a professional over here who has been working in this field. I have done CCNP, but I have recently done it. But I'm just gonna do CCIE. So I'm have no prior experience in networking. So just want to let you know that. So when you're explaining some stuff, anything, you know that there are some people in the batch who haven't done any professional work.
Okay, great. Islam.
Hey,
Yes,
hi,
I.
Shank. Myself, 𝒍𝒐𝒐𝒌𝒊𝒏𝒈. In Bahrain, I'm working as a cybersecurity engineer over here. I have around like 6 years of experience. It's one of my, desire to get a CCIE certificate. So,
Okay, great. Welcome, sir. Okay, next, Tomelo.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, Tomelo.
I'm good, So I'm from South Africa. I work as a network engineer and I'm currently CCNP certified. So I'm just hoping to get my CCIE maybe around next year.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Shank.
Yeah, Hassan.
How are you? So my name is Hassan. I'm
Good.
located in Canada. I am a CCIE service provider, and I renew it like last year. But I was planning to take the RNS, but it's not supported anymore from Cisco. So they advised me to utilize the RNS by taking enterprise lab. So I should take the lab before January 2022. Yeah, that's my goal. I'm a network engineer though. Thank you.
Thank you, Hassan.
Hi, Mr. Shank.
Yeah, hi, Toga.
How are you?
I'm
This is
good.
Dennis. We're president of a CCNP, and I don't really have a strong work experience, in networking. I've done some network monitoring, things like that. But my desire is to get my CCIE, and I hope this class will help me to get my CCIE certification.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
Hi guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, hi, Sandeep. Yes.
Hi sir. I have completed my routing and switching training as well as lab practice, but unfortunately I couldn't able to give it because of COVID, because recently lab had changed after April 2020, right? So I'm again looking for the training as well as lab practice so that I can complete my CCI goal.
Okay, welcome, Shine. Sandeep.
Yeah, thank you. I'm looking for your expertise advices. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
How are you, sir?
Yeah, good, Samar.
My name is Samar and I am from UP in India. I have a CCNA and CCNP and I am looking for job and I am fresher. So I have not certified Cisco certified, but only CCNP trained.
Okay, welcome, Samar. Thank you. Okay, guys, so you can lower your hand. Okay, so now I have one important question that I need to ask. So how many of you which are present here which not have any networking experience or even not talk about experience, you don't have any knowledge of CCNA or CCNP? So I want people who to raise your hand who don't have any knowledge of CCNA and CCNP.
Oh, yes.
So I've seen only one people who raised its hand. Rest all I hope I am assuming having a knowledge up to CCNP, right? You have done the labs, you practice or something on the gear, right? Okay. Because I will tell you why I asked this question. I asked this question because to attend this class, as it is a CCI class, I'm expecting at least your CCNP level of knowledge you should have. Okay. So that is what I need, because theoretically I not take much topics in the CCI class. It is a completely practical class which I take. So 90% I gonna do the practical only. Okay, with the lab scenarios and whatever we have. But 10% only in case I need it, I gonna go in the theoretical part. So that's why I recommend everyone to have a CCNP level of knowledge. And again, guys, if you're not even having a CCNP level of knowledge, so what we have is I am starting my CCNP batch as well, which and consist of your ENCOR and ENARSI. So that gonna be a parallel batch, and those who gonna enroll in next 3 days with us for the CCIE, we're gonna give the free access to that batch. Okay, so let me explain you about these batches first. Okay, so now the flow of this class of today's in next 10 minutes, I'm gonna explain you about the commonly asked question, what is batch, like how we're gonna start and all that stuff, and then we're gonna take the BGP route reflector topic, which in depth, and then in the last half an hour, I'm gonna take your questions. Okay. So from our CCIE Enterprise Infrastructure Lab, we are scheduled 2 batches. So this is the first batch. We are starting on September 25th. Okay, so 2 days we're gonna take the demo class, which is today and tomorrow. And after that, from next weekend, Saturday and Sunday, same time, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m., we're gonna start with the direct lab class. Okay, so it's gonna be a daily 2-hour session on Saturday and Sunday. And then ENCOR and RC, those who enroll in next 3 days, I'm gonna give you the free access related to this ENCOR and NRC, where it gonna be from starting from again 28th September, and it gonna be on the weekdays, Monday to Thursday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Okay, so again, the duration is gonna be around three months, so that is the max duration. We're gonna try to cover it before 25th of December. Okay, as I know, after that everyone is in holiday mood, so we're gonna try to do it before that. And then also we're gonna provide you the SD-WAN as well. So those who gonna enroll in next 3 days for CCI, we're gonna provide you the SD-WAN complete CCNP course as well. Okay, so that is again from Monday to Thursday. On the once we finish the CCNPs, then we're gonna take the same time slot and we're gonna use the SD-WAN. Okay, so that is we have for the first batch. And after that, in October, okay, we're gonna start with the second batch, which is we starting from 16th of October. Okay, and that is gonna be weekday batch. So that is not the weekend, that is gonna be weekday batch, which is from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. IST. We have a class of CCI, and from 12:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. we have a class of CCNP. Okay, and after CCNP we have a class of SD-WAN. So that is a weekday batch. Those who having the issues with weekend batch or timing issues, they can join in October, and those who are good with now, so they can join us now as well. Okay, so for and we are having a limited seat related to that. I not believe in quantity, I believe in quality. So again, I normally not take much student in my class. So again, it's your choice. So we have a first to first come basis where we're gonna decide like your enrollment. So enrollment is gonna be for 3 days from now onwards. After that, we're gonna close the enrollment. So then you will get seat in the October batch only. So yes, Ankit, we have a CCNP and core SD-WAN for weekend. No. So we have that only in the weekdays only. Okay. SD-WAN, I gonna take one batch on weekend. So once we start that, I gonna tell you. Okay. So there is a Weekend batch we're gonna start in for SDWAN. Okay, so this is related to our batches. Again, the access to this page, this is the URL of this page. You can use it. It is already pasted in the chat, so you can check it out. Okay. Now let's talk about basics of what is CCI, how you can appear for it, your commonly asked question related to CCI. So CCI is, again, guys, as you know, it is an expert level of certification which is provided via Cisco. So to pass to appear in your CISO, again, it is having two steps. One is you're passing the qualification exam, and after that, the second step is the passing of your lab exam. Okay. So the first step is qualification exam, which is known as your CCNP level of exam, and it is ENCOR 350401. This is the exam number and paper, which is your qualification exam that you need to pass to appear in the CCIE Enterprise Infrastructure version 1.0 lab exam. Okay, so the once you pass your ENCOR exam, the validity is around 3 years. So in 3 years, you have a validity to give the CCI Enterprise Infrastructure Lab. Okay, and there is no prerequisite to pass CCNA or CCNP certification before appearing on the CCI lab. So only this is the prerequisite. This is the prerequisite exam which you need to pass to appear in the CCI Enterprise Infrastructure Lab. Okay. Then your CCI Enterprise Infrastructure consists of 8 hours exam, which is divided into 2 modules. Okay. So one module is your design module, which is of 3 hours. Okay. So that is based on, that is a scenario based module where you will get out you will be presented with a business requirement or customer requirement or emails, and then you need to provide your answers in the objective form. Okay. So you need to answer based on the objective. So your drag and drop, multiple choice, single answer, multiple choice, multiple answers, drop down items that you need to select. Okay, so you have 3 hours to do that section. After that, you will be presented with a module 2, which is a configuration section, which is deploy, operate, and optimize. So you need to do the complete deployment of optimize and operate of the network technologies and the solutions that are present. Okay, so you will get a 5 hours to do the complete configuration. Okay, so this is the lab exam which needs a CLI access. No physical device will be present around you. No physical layer 1 connectivity you need to do in exam. Okay, so yes, so automation is also a module, or it is a subtopic which is present in both the modules, whether it is design or configuration. And yes, we're gonna cover that as well. Okay. Will this course cover the design part of the exam? Yes, we're gonna take the design part of exam as well. I am also CCDE written certified. So again, I'm gonna take topic by topic the design aspect of a particular topic. Okay, so how you configure OSPF, where you put area 0, how your design look like. So I'm gonna take it topic by topic in your batch. Okay. So this is related to this, and then CCIE Enterprise exam topics. Okay, so CCIE exam is divided into practical exam, whether it is a design module or a configuration module. Okay, it is divided into these 5 categories, where the first one is your network infrastructure. Okay, where you have switching, your routing, which consists of EIGRP, OSPF, BGP as a routing protocol, and your multicast. Okay, so these are the 4 different protocols you have as well as your switching. So that is included in your first section. After that, we have a software-defined infrastructure where you have Cisco SDXs and SD-WAN section. Okay, so it consists of 2 sections. Then third one is your transport technologies, which is MPLS and DMVPN. Okay, so these have 2 sections. So anyone having any issue with my voice?
No, that's okay.
Okay, so Raju, you can check it on your end. Maybe turn on your speaker to a little bit high. Okay, then after third section, we have a 4th section which relates to security and services. Okay, so it is having a device security, network security, and the services that we're gonna run, and the QoS part. Okay, so it is having these 3 or 4 sections. And the final section that we have is the automation and programmability, which consists of automation and programmability stuff. Okay, so it is divided into these 5 sections, your complete CCIE syllabus. Okay. So now I explained you about the exam and all that stuff. So again, guys, let's do 5 minutes Q&A only. So we will be having a limited time of 5 minutes only. After that, I'm gonna start with today's topic, which is BGP route reflector. So again, guys, if anyone having any question, do let me know in these 5 minutes. Tell me. Anyone having any question? You can raise your hand and unmute yourself.
Yes, I have a question. Are you listening to me? Are you hearing me?
Yes, David.
Yeah. I said we'll be receiving every time after the training, we'll be receiving videos with recorded videos.
Yes.
After we have learned.
Yes. So all the classes that we are doing is automatically recorded on the cloud. So after some time, like in 12 hours, you will get it recorded on a web portal, which is on our website. So you can access that and you can having a recorded view, which is a lifetime access for you.
Okay, that's good. If I understand very well, that means today we start. Tomorrow we are going to have course again on Monday and up to the end.
Sorry, I didn't get your question.
I said, if I understand very well the schedule, the program, we start today. Tomorrow we have also class on Monday, on Tuesday.
So today and tomorrow is gonna be a demo class, and we're gonna starting from 25th of September.
Okay, that's good.
Hi Shank, this lab exam is open in Bangalore, right? Or is it still closed?
So as per my information, it is still, I think, closed. So again, there is a section on the Cisco website only where you can see that. So to check whether you have the exam is open or not on a particular location. So I will give you the link later on in the chat to check
that. Any idea if what's happening in globally?
Again,
I heard Dubai is open.
Because yes, so again it depends on the person, country to country cases of COVID. Because again, wherever there is a 3rd wave or 4th wave or 2nd wave, whatever is the wave number. So again, wherever the cases are high, they closed it, and after that, wherever the cases are low, they opened it again. Okay, so it depends totally country to country. Okay.
Excuse me, Mr. Shank.
Yes, Dennis.
Will you be providing workbooks for the CCIE? And also what lab we'll be using? Will it be ENG? What lab we'll be using for the CCIE lab?
Yes, so we're gonna use our ENG or PNet platform, and I'm gonna provide you the workbooks as well. We have a complete lab topology. I'm gonna show you in the end, and we're gonna provide you the workbooks.
All right, thank you.
Shank, one more question. Sorry. What is the minimum requirement for the machine to run the ENG?
So again,
do we need
our lab,
i7?
yes, so you need at least what I can say is 6-core processor or quad core. Even quad core will not work. So 6-core processor is needed, and minimum 32 GB RAM of 32 GB of RAM is needed. Okay, but we're gonna provide you our access on our lab servers, so you can access on that as well. Okay, if you want to build your lab on at your home laptop or desktop or server, whatever you have, we have a dedicated lab instructor present, and he's gonna help you out. Yes, we have a SDWAN lab as well, so we're gonna provide that as well. Yeah.
Okay, just one question. If we have CCNP, the old CCNP, I have just 1 year to left. I can go directly to the CCIE.
Sorry, I didn't get your question again.
Yeah, my question is, I have the CCNP. I have just 1 year left, the old CCNP.
Yes,
I can go without the core.
Yes,
okay.
You can go it.
Okay. And for the lab, it's we can have access anytime, or it's a slot to access it to it. For the lab, you provide. Yeah.
Yes, so we're gonna so you're gonna select the slot, and we're gonna provide you some of the slot timings, so then you can use it as per your time zone. Okay, so in the backend you can ask our lab instructor gonna provide you that things.
Okay.
So Ankit, I'm gonna show you the lab topology in the last. Okay. Yes, DNAC, Rohan. So we're gonna give DNAC and SDA lab access as well. What else?
What is the duration of this course?
So it's gonna be of 3 months. So it's gonna run till 25th of December. So I try to finish it before that.
Okay, I am I'm in US, and the labs are open here, and the dates are also available. And I have an exam voucher which will expiring in 1.5 months. Is there anything you can do to help me? A fast track course maybe?
So Mohammed, what I can do, I can talk you related to that in the backend. Okay, so you can just reach out to our backend team. We try to help you. Okay.
All right, thank you.
Okay, sorry for interrupting.
Yes.
I want to ask about the experiment of the new CCIE lab. So how it's going. I know that the old CCIE labs, the first part was implementing, then after the break, they planned some problems, so you need to solve it too by the lab. So how it is going in this version?
So again, there the right now the modules are 2 modules. Okay, design and as well as configuration. So design related module, you will get a scenarios where you need to answer the question, and configuration, you will get a complete lab topology that you need to configure as per the tasks.
So there is no other problems they planned, just
the
design.
Troubleshooting section, yes, troubleshooting section is no more in the CCIE lab now.
So what about the workbooks or the topologies?
Yes, so we're gonna provide you the workbook as well as our topology. So I'm gonna talk about the topology in the last.
Okay, it is the last topology. I think the first topology has changed.
Sorry?
CCIE topology now is changed from.
So Cisco did not disclose CCIE topology, right?
So it's still the first one. There is no topologies.
I'm not getting your question.
Okay, I say it was a one topology. They passed it. Okay.
I'm not getting your question. What you're saying?
The exam topology. The exam topology.
So exam topology is not disclosed by Cisco, right?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So let's stop it here. We're gonna take the rest Q&A in the last. So let me start with the today topic. So today, our agenda is we're gonna take one case study, which is BGP route reflector. What is BGP route reflector? How we're gonna use it? What are its advantages, disadvantages? How we gonna loop avoid in the BGP route reflector? What are its main attributes? So these are the things that we're gonna take it today. So first, I will explain you in theory about what is BGP route reflector, what is basic BGP, why we use it. Okay. And then later on, we're going to do the practical of it. So for next 10-15 minutes, I'm going to take the theory, and after that, we start with the configuration of it. Okay. So let me open. Okay, to start with, so can anyone tell me what do you understand by a BGP? Why we use the BGP protocol?
We are using it when we want to communicate with two autonomous systems who are not on our who are on another autonomous system. Yeah. Who are not on our domains.
Anyone else want to answer?
Shank, we use BGP for mainly two reasons. One is if you are a service provider, and the second reason is if you have dual ISPs, multi-home thing.
Okay, so that is you can that is the answer. So again, two reasons we have. One is if you are a service provider company, because you need to talk with your multiple customers and you need to exchange their routes. Another one is while you are having connections to different ISP. Okay, my next question is, what do you mean by autonomous system?
Autonomous system is, for example, the ID that was given to us to, for example, to exchange our proper IP. For example, we have some IP that are used by our system, and we can announce it to other provider, for example.
Okay, anyone else want to answer?
It is a group of a single administrative domain where routers having same routing policies.
Okay, so basically autonomous system is a number which is assigned via your internet authority, INA, and it is your group of devices having single administrative domain, right? Or similar routing policies. Okay, its range is from 1 to 65535. Okay, where 65512 to 65535 is your private AS, which you can use without even inside your autonomous system to your different sites without even INA as well. Okay. Okay, so this is related to autonomous system. Again, in depth, we go in our full course, so do not worry about that. So in BGP, we have a connection which are known as are divided into single homed. So single home means your company is connected with one ISP. Okay. Then we have dual homed, where your company is connected to the ISP via two connections. And third one is gonna be multi-home, where your company is gonna be connected via two different ISP.
Hi, Mr. Shank.
Yes, Ali.
Yeah, sorry to disturb you. So I just want to clear one thing, Mr. Shank. So this session, is it for the real exam lab, like demo, or it will be like just like random topics, collection and guidance for the career and this stuff?
So again, the session is for the BGP route reflector, but if I start BGP route reflector directly, then some of the people will not able to understand it. Okay, so I need to tell you the basics of BGP first so that you can understand the BGP route reflector. And BGP route reflector is a topic in CCIE Enterprise Blueprint. Okay.
So like later on, there will be like a session of the real exam topology as the guy was asking, or like, because I'm really confused about it.
Confused about what?
No, I mean these sessions, is it going to be like a real exam topology practice?
So right now on this session, we have our own topology that we're gonna show you the configuration.
Okay.
Okay.
So, and for the exam lab, is there any sessions will be for that or no?
So again, we have a complete our own topology where we do the complete lab over it. Okay.
Actually, yeah, for me, it's the, okay. So he said like we don't teach the dumps, so they'll be like okay. So I got it. So you guys are not going like for the real exam scenario, right?
So do you know about real exam scenario? There is a Cisco NDA policy, which is a non-disclosure agreement, right?
Yes, you're
So
right.
we cannot teach you the real exam. Even I don't know about what are the questions you have in the real exam.
Clear, clear. So decisions will be only for the technical guidance of the topics that you may face on like during your exam, right?
Yes. So I'm gonna provide you my 12 years of experience, my 3 CCIs experience, and how you can handle the particular task or scenario.
And these sessions will be
with real production issues as well.
Okay. And this is like a separate sessions or for the like the people who join these groups?
Sorry, didn't get your question.
No, I mean like these sessions will be like a continuous session for the syllabus itself, the ENCOR RSI, or like it will be like just a special session for the exam experience.
So again, I'm gonna cover the class as per the Cisco blueprint. Okay. And we're gonna start the class from 25th of September. These 2 days are the demo webinars so that you can understand how I teach. Okay. What is my method? You can evaluate my knowledge if you want. Okay. And you can ask your doubts and questions.
Clear.
Okay. After that, from 25th of September, we're going to start with the class where I'm going to start configuring on our lab topology.
Okay. For me, actually, I enrolled already on like one batch before, yeah. And I was like just looking for the exam scenario. Okay, no issue. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Ali.
Thank you.
Okay, guys. So dual multi-home is your company which is connected to your ISP via two different links. So again, it's gonna be ISP1 and ISP2. Okay, so these are the 4 different type of connections where which you can do it. Okay, mainly. And after that, if you have multiple routers at your company, so you can also connect it with 2 different routers. So that is for redundancy. But these are the 4 main type of connections that you have. Guys, those who are not speaking, can you please put your mic on mute? Thank you. Okay, so now in BGP, as you know, we in like other routing protocols as well, we are creating a neighborship with our neighboring router. So in BGP, there are 2 type of neighborships. One is iBGP and another one is eBGP. So can anyone tell me the difference between what is iBGP and what is eBGP?
Yes, iBGP. Yeah, iBGP is all the routing protocols that we use in our companies, like OSPF, EIGRP, RIP. eBGP is the external border gateway, like a BGP in this case.
Okay. So basically the BGP running between routers in same AS number. Okay. And if you run BGP between routers in different AS, then that is known as eBGP. Okay. And then there are some other differences, like your AD value is 200 here, your TTL is 255. Here the AD value is gonna be 20 and your TTL is gonna be 1. Okay. If you can change the TTL as well with the eBGP multi-hop, which is a one feature to change it. Okay. So now let's talk about iBGP. So how are we gonna avoid the loop in iBGP? Can anyone tell me? Or what is, first of all, what is, okay. So through BGP split horizon rule. Okay, so what is BGP split horizon rule?
The routes which is received from iBGP, which will not advertise to other iBGP neighbor.
Okay. So basically, these are 2 routers. So if you get a route, for example, there is a network which is 1 by 1 by 1 by 1 here. So if you get a route, so if this advertise a route to the iBGP neighbor, which is R2 in this case, so then R2 is not gonna advertise that route to R3. Okay, so this is what split horizon rule says. Routes learned through one iBGP neighbor are not propagated to other iBGP neighbors. Okay, so then how R3 gonna get the route from R1? Yes, so the solution is your first solution, which is present is the full mesh. You need to create a iBGP neighborship between your R1 and R3. Okay, so that R1 will advertise route to R3, and then R3 also get that route. Okay, so this is a first solution for this one. But now the problem with this solution is scalability. If you have multiple routers, especially in the service provider environment, then you will come into a scalability issues where your peerings will increase. So as soon as you increase your router, you will get a peering increase, which is you can calculate it via this formula. So number of routers n equals to number of routers present in your topology. Okay, so it is gonna be, so if you see it here, so it's gonna be 3 minus 1 by 2, which is 3. Okay, here, but as soon as you increase it, it will increase your peering requirements. So full mesh is an option, but again, it's gonna increase the load on your CPU on the device. So there is a different solution which is present to avoid that full mesh requirement, which is known as route reflector. Okay, so route reflector is another solution. So what it gonna do, you will make one router as a route reflector and rest other routers are the client of that route reflector. So now your route reflector will only create a peering with your clients. Okay, so your peering gonna be on this link, this link, this link. Okay, even if you have a connection in between your clients, so there will be no BGP peering. Okay, there will be an IGP running if you want, but there will be no BGP peering between your clients. So only the BGP peering is on the yellow lines which I have drawn. So that's gonna be your iBGP peering with the route reflector. And then it's your route reflector responsibility to send the routes or updates which is received from one of the client to the another client. Okay, so it is like a similar concept that you have DR and BDR in your OSPF. So same way, this is a concept where your route reflector will send the updates to your clients. Okay, so it reduces your requirement of full mesh peering. Okay, and it also helps you in your split horizon rule where your updates which gonna be from one iBGP neighbor, it gonna send it to another iBGP neighbor. Okay, through itself. For redundancy, you can create two route reflector with the same client so that if one goes down, your other one is having the peering. Okay, so in our topology, these are the in this topology which I made, these are the two different route reflectors. Okay. Anyone having any doubt or question till here? Let me know. Yes, Usman.
No, all good, Shank. Sorry.
Okay. So all good, I think. Okay, there is a third solution as well, which is known as confederation, which is also one of the CCI topic. But in today class, I'm not taking that one. So today we're gonna take the route reflector topic in much details. So now let me open the topology that we're gonna start working for today. So let me just put the things aside. Okay, so I'm gonna show you the configuration related to how we create the iBGP neighborships and how we're gonna create a route reflector, and then how we're gonna do the configuration, and I will show you the loop avoidance and all. So this is the topology that we're gonna use it for our today class. So let me open it in Note and Paint. So not print. Okay, so here if you can see, I have three route reflectors which I have made, which is R3, which are red, so R1 and R2. Okay, so these are the three route reflectors we have, and the routers which are green are in the route reflector clients. So this is the client R9 and R10 are the client for R3. R4 and R5 are the client for your R1, and R6 and R7 are the client for your R2. Okay, and here in the bottom I showed R8, which connects to two route reflector for redundancy. So if one of the route reflector down, so it can take it from other. Okay, so I have made some rectangles here as well, or squares. So those we're gonna use it later on to show you a concept which is known as clusters in route reflector. Okay, so how we gonna avoid the loops in route reflectors and what are clusters? So that is an attribute in route reflector which I'm gonna tell you. So later on we're gonna use these triangles and squares to use that. Okay. So now, okay, one more thing before I start. To configure your iBGP, you need a IGP protocol in the background. So we're gonna run the OSPF as a protocol for our IGP. Okay, so you should have a connectivity of a IGP to make the iBGP neighborship. So it can be, you can form the iBGP neighborship between not directly connected neighbors as well. For example, let's see this one, R1, R2, R3. So if this is my topology, I can create a iBGP neighborship with R1 to R3 as well. Okay. So between non-directly connected neighbors, I can also form the neighborship, but for that, I need a reachability from R1 to R3. So reachability is going to be provided via your IGP protocol. So which is, you can run either OSPF, ISS, whatever you like. Okay. So we're going to use the OSPF as a IGP protocol to provide the reachability. Okay. One more important concept to understand here is your route reflectors are only present in the control plane. Okay, means your control plane traffic will go via route reflector. But if you have a direct path between your devices like this way, if I connect and I will provide the reachability through OSPF, so my data plane can work directly. Okay, it can go directly. So now in this case, your data plane can directly go. So it is also, I can show you in the topology that we have. So my control plane is go via route reflector, but my data plane can go via route reflector or it can go directly. It depends on you and your design. Okay, how you design the thing. So I'm gonna show you how it goes. Okay. So let's start configuring our devices. So, okay, this is the topology that we have. We are using the virtual devices and I have a console. Just give me a second. Okay, so I have restarted the devices. So they will be up in some time. Let me arrange the screen till then. Okay. So to pass the CCI lab, this is your favorite tool, which is known as Notepad. You should do a lot of configuration because a lot of configuration is actually you need to do a lot of time. So multiple configuration can be duplicated. So you just need to use the Notepad so that you can copy paste the configuration. And one of the feature which is known as Control H. Okay, so what Control H gonna do? It's gonna find the particular string in your notepad and it's gonna replace it whatever you want. Okay, so that is also you need so that you can replace the configuration very fast and then you can complete your lab on time. So let's start doing configuration for our route reflector. So we're gonna start. So let's start from the router 1. So again, I can just write it on the notepad and then we can copy paste. So interface, I creating a loop back on every router so that I can provide the reach. I can make the iBGP peering with that loop back. So 255. Okay, then my interface which is connected. So interface is 0 by 0, and then IP address is gonna be 10, 10, 12. So I'm taking the second octet as a subnet between whatever the routers I am making. So if I'm making between R1 and R2, I'm taking 12 as a subnet. Okay, then third octet is gonna be 0, and whatever router I am pasting the configuration, that's gonna be IP of that router with /24. Okay, so /24. So as this is a normal IS, so we need to type it like that. And then interface E0 by 1, which is gonna be IP address 10, and what is the IP address is 14, right? Dot 0.1.255, and we need to put no shut as well. In exam, you can get the IP address or else you need to configure. So again, it depends, but mostly you will get the IP address already configured for you, but it also depends. Sometimes there are scenarios where you need to configure it. Okay, so now I'm just copying pasting it. So E0 by 2 we have with the subnet of 16, and then sorry, it is the subnet of 15. So in diagram it is wrong, so I will update it. Okay, but it is 15 subnet between R1 and R5, and then 1 by 0, which is 18. Okay, so this is the basic configuration that we need to do. So let me just first paste that configuration for you guys. So okay, we need to put host name as well. Okay, so now these interfaces are up. Now after that, we not need to do the OSPF configuration. So router OSPF1, and I am just advertising it for the complete network. So I'm just putting 0000 so that it can advertise your complete network, whatever you configure on the area 0. Okay. So loading of with R8. Okay, so okay, rest all are good. So I have done the OSPF configuration. So let me just type it quickly here so that we can later on we can paste it in other routers. And 255, 255, 255, 255, area 0. Okay, and then we're gonna do our BGP configuration. So router BGP AS number we will use 65535, and then we're gonna form the neighborship with R1 to R2. So neighbor (10, 12, 0.2) and remote AS is gonna be same. Okay, so that's how it's gonna identify whether it is making a iBGP or eBGP. Okay, so this is my neighbor to R2. Then I'm gonna form my neighborship with R3. So let me take the configuration. Okay, then we're gonna find the neighborship with R4. Okay, so we are here. Then we're gonna make a neighborship with R5. Okay, and we're gonna make a neighborship with R8.
Shank with R5, is it 16 or 15?
So it is actually 15 there. It is written wrong. So let me just update it. Just
No,
a
all
second.
good, all good.
So I'm just updating it to 15. Okay. So 65535. So here it is 8. Okay, so this is the configuration we need to do. So this is just the basic BGP configuration, okay, not the route reflector configuration. So let me first paste this one and then we do the route reflector configuration as well. So I already pasted that one. So let me paste it from here. Okay, now we will configure R4 so that we finish with one cluster first. So let me just take the configuration from here. So host name is gonna be 4. So again, guys, this way it's gonna help you. So once you create your configuration in Notepad, then it's gonna help you a lot by saving a lot of time in lab. Okay, so E0 by 0 is having 14 subnet here with 4, and then E0 by 1 we not need it here, and E0 by 2 is gonna be your 45.4, and E1 by 0 we not need, OSPF we need, and then router we just need to do the neighborship with R1. So here it 12 is not needed, 13 is not needed. We need with 14.1, and that's it. Okay, I don't need it to configure BGP neighborship with R4 to R5 because I will make them as a route reflector client. Okay, so let me just check it quickly and then we paste this configuration. Okay, and also one more thing that we need to do, let me advertise the loopback as well of every router. So 4000. So network via network command you can do it. So here also I let me paste it network 1100 so that later on we can see the routes. So let me just paste it again here first. Okay, and then on the R4. Okay, so we should have a BGP neighborship should come up. Show IP BGP summary. Right now it is in idle state. So now your BGP is up. Show IP BGP summary and show IP BGP. You're able to see the 4 prefix of 4. Okay, but now let's configure R4 as a route reflector client. Okay, so for that on R4 you don't need to do anything. On R1 what you need to do, if I show you show run section BGP, so what you need to do with the neighbor command, after the neighbor command of R4 you need to type one more command which is 4 and then route reflector client. Okay, so this command will make R1 as a route reflector for your R4. Okay, so for R4 also we need to form, and we need to form it for R5 as well. Okay, so let me add that here as well. Route Reflector client. So iGP is required in BGP so that you should, so BGP works over TCP. Okay, it runs directly over TCP. So you need to, if you are forming a iBGP neighborship, then you need to have a reachability on the network layer. So iGP is going to provide you the reachability. Okay.
Just a small question, sir.
Yes.
In this topology, who are the route reflector? R4 or R1?
So again, your red routers are the route reflectors, which is R1, R3, and R2. So right now I'm working on the R1, which is your route reflector, and the clients are R4 and R5.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. So that's why I color coded them. So your R1, R2, and R3, which are in red, are your route reflectors. Okay.
Okay.
So okay, so we're done with R1, we're done with R4. So let's configure R5. So E0 by 0 is going to be 1015, 0.5. And E0 by 2 is just the IP address we need to give. And then neighborship is going to be with this one. And network that we need to advertise is 5. Okay. So right now, just focus on, we only worked on R4 and R5. So you can see this is the configuration related to that. And you should also learn one network from your R5. So it will come. So show IP BGP summary. And here I've advertised it right. Oops, I forgot to advertise. So network command is needed. Oh, I wrote it in the down. So show IP BGP. Okay. So it is learning your 4 network as well as it is learning your 5 network. Okay. Now here also it is showing you 1 prefix it is learning via both the neighbors. Okay. And it is sending that prefix to your other clients. So on R4, if you do show IP BGP, you will see R5, which is your route reflector is sending. Okay, so we don't have the direct iBGP neighborship between R4 and R5, but still in the BGP table, we are learning it. Okay, so we are learning it via our route reflector. If we try to ping 5555 from here, we are able to ping it. Okay, so we are learning our prefix from our different route reflector client to us. Okay, but now let's check the trace route from where we are reaching it. As I have a direct IGP connection between R4 and R5, I should do the numeric, otherwise it tries to do the DNS resolution and it takes time. So in lab also, if you want to do this trace route quickly, you just type the numeric keyword. So it will do without DNS resolution. Okay, so now you can see it is directly reaching. It is not reaching to your route reflector and then going towards R5. So from R4 R5, as I connected a direct path, which is running, which is having a reachability via IGP. So directly it is reaching there. Okay. So again, let me show you with numeric so that it will not take DNS resolution into account. So it will quickly do the trace route for you. Okay. Also, you can check the routing table. It will show you the route, which is learning via BGP. Okay. As well as it is learning via OSPF as well. Okay. Because of our IGP. So anyone having any question or doubt till here? So this is one cluster, we done it.
Yeah, my question is this: to be a router reflector of any router, you should be directly connected to him.
No, it is not needed.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it should be. It should not even directly connected. Then also you can form the iBGP, because iBGP you can form without direct connection as well. So unless until you have the iBGP neighborship, you can have it.
Okay, okay, good.
Okay.
Yeah. But the number of route reflector is not limited. You can have 10 depending on the size of the network.
Yes, and even the router, which is route reflector for the clients, that can also become the client for any other route reflector as well. So that is known as hierarchical route reflectors.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so that is also possible.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're done with one section, which is R4, R5, R1. So let's similar way, we need to configure other section as well. So let me just quickly grab it and then we start configuring it. So now instead of R, so let's take the upper section, which is R3, R9 and R8. So here R3, just let me change the things quickly. 3333 E0 by 0, which is connected. So again, it's gonna be 23.3. Then E0 by 1 is gonna be 13.3. Then E0 by 2 is gonna be 103.3, and then E0 by 3, which is gonna be.
Shank, I have one doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Client to client, always there should be reachability. I'm right. IGP should be configured.
Between which?
Between clients.
No, not needed. So this is, I just draw it so that I can show you if you have a reachability between your clients directly, then they can pass the traffic directly without reaching the route reflector. So if I remove that link, then your traffic will go via route reflector. So you don't need to have a direct reachability. So let's do one thing here. On the right side of our topology, let's remove this link.
Shank, we already have that one on upper one, but that's all right.
Okay, yeah. I removed it anyways.
All good, all good.
Okay, so again, it is not, we need it. So, okay, we are here. So 39, where is 39? Okay. Then router is this, network is gonna be my 3. So remote AS is gonna be 23.2. Then 13 dot, not 13. Okay, we not need, we need it right. 13.1. So 23.2 is okay and 13.1 is okay. Then we have 103.10 and we have fourth link is gonna be 39.9. Okay, so this is the configuration related to R3. So after R3, we're gonna do for R9. So 39.9. Okay, so this is gonna be for R9. After R9, we're gonna do for R10. So here we done mistake in neighbor command, so I just need to change it. Here the IP is gonna be .3. So meanwhile, this is R10. Okay, so our R9 so runs section BGP. Okay, that's why it not took the command as well. So router BGP 65535 and now we need to take show iBGP summary. So 13.1 it is active and 23 okay, that is okay because we not configured R2 yet. And with R10 it is ideal. So it is going to be 13.0.1, that is okay. And so that is good from this search. Show IP interface brief. So 0 by 1, which is 13.3. And 0 by 0 is 23.3, that is good. 10.103.3, which is 0 by 2, and this is also good. So let's check on R2, not R2, R1. Show IP interface brief. So 1 to 3 link, which is E0 by 3. So we not put any IP. Okay. So IP address is gonna be 10.13.0.1. No shut. So now BGP is up. Show IP BGP summary. So with 2 it is not active, with 8 it is not active, so that is okay. We not still configured it. So now your R3 is up with this. Now why it is not making with R10? So let's check on R10. Show IP interface brief, because it is shut down. So E0/0, no shut. Okay, so loop back I have taken in the 10 range. So what I do, interface loopback 0, IP address is gonna be 10, or let me change the subnet 255.255.255.0. Okay, then interface E0/0, no shut. So run section BGP. So you want to advertise it with the direct, whatever the subnet mask you use. So again, let me advertise it with correct mask. So 10 with mask of 255.255.255.0, and here it's gonna be 0. Okay. Show IP BGP summary. So you are learning a route, show IP BGP. Okay. So you are learning here on this side the 3 network and the 10 network right now. So let's configure. So this is done. So after that, let's check it here first. Okay, everything is good. So guys, do you have any question? Show IP BGP. All good? Okay.
Shank, did we configure route reflector for R9 and R10, like client for R3?
Yes, so let me check. So that is left, I guess, on R3. So run section BGP. So route reflector client, and for 10 Okay, so 9 and 10 is gonna be our route reflector client for our R3. Remote yes, and remote yes. Okay, so all is good. So now show IP BGP. You're able to see all the networks.
quick one, Shank. When you declare it as a route reflector client, does the neighborship get reset, like goes down and go
Yes.
up? Okay.
Yes, it's gonna do the neighborship reset if you do the route reflector client.
Thanks.
So here is the message which you're gonna see. So again on R3, it should come as soon as we configure it as a client. So you will get a message. Okay, so it's gonna change, reflect your, it's gonna reset your neighborship and it's gonna comes up again. Okay, so here this is the change we done, and route reflector client. Okay, so this is done. Now let's configure our third cluster. So this is R2. Two. E0/0 is connected to your R1. So which is going to be 12.2. Then E0/1, which is connected to your R7. So 17.2. E0/2 is connected to your R6, which is 26.2. E0/3 is connected to 23. And guys, the key to pass the CCIE exam is the calmness that you have. Even if you forgot something or you've done that mistake, do not panic. Because if you panic, your exam will be gone. So E0/3 is 10.23.0. And after that, we have one more link interface E0/1/0. Because once if you panic, then the things that are in front of you not able to see it. 0.2, then 255.255.255.0 and no shit. So this is
there is a mistyping.
280 here.
Okay. So it is 2. Okay, so my first neighborship is gonna be 12.1, then 17.7, then 26.6, then 23. Okay, so this is going to be route reflector client. So command. So again, the same command. And this is 26 we done, right? And 26. Okay, just a second. So here on E0/1, this is 27. So 27.7. And what is left? So neighborship with your R3.
Also remove the second neighborship line if 2017 one.
Yes, so that is I need to remove. Or else I can just change it in that line, but okay. So it's gonna be 23.3. So we got 12, we got 26, we got 27, we got 23, and also left with our 28.
This is my question, Shank. Why we are creating neighborship when it is gonna be a backup one? like, backup route reflector.
For which one?
For R, I think the bottom one, R8, is it R8?
Yes, it is R8.
Okay. Because I thought it's going to be a backup route reflector. So we still need to.
Yes, but again, we need to create a neighborship, right? So that
Yes,
it can be a route reflector. Yes.
Yes,
So that's the reason. Okay, so this is gonna be R8. So this is done. But there is a special thing that I think if you guys catch it or not or missed it, between R1, R2, and R3, that is a simple neighborship. Okay, I didn't make route reflector client between these three. So right now these are simple neighborship between my route reflector, but in later on, like after 15 minutes, I'm gonna make these three also to the right route reflector client to each other. So it's gonna change one behavior, which I'm gonna tell you. Okay, so there are design scenarios where you want redundancy or you want your traffic load to be, you need to decide between those. So for that, there are some design scenarios.
The one question I do have is I thought that client could be only client of one route reflector. Is that right?
Yes. So client can be, it can be client of two route reflector.
Okay. So that's why we have R8 as
Yes.
client.
Yes.
Okay.
And your route reflector can also be the client of any other route reflector.
Sure.
Okay, so that is known as hierarchical route reflector. So basically enterprise companies not use that feature, but service providers use it. Okay, so here, where are we? We are at R6. So it is gonna be 26.6 and then. So again, guys, those routers which are client, there is no configuration of client. Okay, there is no command you need to type on those. On the route reflector itself, you need to specify the client. But on the client, you don't need to configure anything. Just the plain iBGP neighborship you need to form. So 7. Zero by 0, 10, 27. So this is not 7, this is 2. And this is here also it is 2. Okay, so let's paste it. So we already pasted R3 configuration, right? R2 configuration. No, we not pasted it yet. So let's paste it. So R2. Then R6. And R7. So now if I go on R2, show IP BGP summary. So from my R8, it is not present because R8 we not configured it yet. So let's configure R8 as well quickly, and then we will check our things. So E0 by 0 is gonna be 28. Okay, and E0 by 1 is gonna be 18. And then here (28.2) and 18.1. Okay, so we are learning the prefix. So show IP BGP. So now if I see it here, you will get a best route in some time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm learning all the prefix. That means all the configuration is good. Okay. So in some time, the topology gonna converge itself, and then you will get a best route as well, which is with this asterisk sign, which you will get it here. Okay, between this star and I. So it takes some time, but after that it will come. Okay, so now, first of all, so this is a configuration related to the route reflector that you do. Okay, but now let me tell you some more rules which are present when you do the route reflector. Okay, so the first rule said, if you are having the routes which you are learning via any of the eBGP neighbor. Okay, right now these all are iBGP neighbor because they are present in the same AS. But if you learn any route from eBGP neighbor, so that can be passed to any other eBGP neighbor or route reflector client or non-client as well. Okay, if you learn any route from your route reflector client, then it can be sent to eBGP, it can be sent to other client, and it can be sent to non-client as well. Okay, so here if you see in our topology, right now at this point of time, this is my one route reflector. Let me draw it with blue. So this is my one route reflector, okay, where it is having two clients here. So this is the client, and this is also a client, and this is route reflector. But it is also having the iBGP with this as well as with this, okay, and these are your non-client. Okay, so this is also non-client and this is also non-client for R1. Okay, because we not make them route reflector with each other. Okay, so route learns from non-client peers. So whatever routes you are learning from non-client can be only sent to eBGP and client, but not to other non-client. Okay, so now here the point here is, if you are learning a route from your non-client and it comes to your route reflector and then it goes to your other non-client. Okay, so it will block it. Your route reflector will not gonna send to your other non-client. Okay. So how we can solve that thing? What we can do? We can make these route reflectors to be client to each other. Okay, these to be each other and these to be each other client. So guys, you got my question, my issue, and how we gonna solve it. So anyone having any doubt in this?
Yes, Shank, I didn't get it.
Okay. So the rule that is saying, the rule says route, let me type in black, route learn from non-client. Okay, should send to eBGP route reflector client, but not to other non-client. Okay, so now in this case, your routes which are learning from R2 towards R1. So R2 is non-client. Okay, right now it is not the client of R1, right?
Yes.
So once your R2 routes are reached to R1, then R1 is gonna send them to its client. Okay, so R1 is gonna send to its client, which is R4 and R5. R1 can send it to eBGP. Right now in our topology, there is no eBGP, but if eBGP is there, so it can send to that as well. But it will not send to other non-clients.
Which is R3.
Which is R3. So right now in our case, we have a connection between R2 and R3. But if I remove that connection so that R3 will not have reachability to your R6 and R7. You're getting my point because of this rule.
Now I got it. Thank you.
So now to mitigate that solution, what we can do, we can make R1, R2 and R3 route reflector client to each other. So right now they are route reflector only for its client. But now what we are making them, we are making R1, R2 and R3 as a route reflector client to each other. So that then this rule will not be applicable. Then it gonna sends to other non-client as well. So you're getting my point, guys.
Got it.
Okay. But once I make them route reflector client to each other, then there's gonna be one more issue. Okay.
Shank, can you please introduce these route reflector routers so that we can see the difference when you configure, so we will understand exactly what is happening.
Sorry, didn't get your point.
Yeah, I say like this, as we did not configure yet R1, R2, and R3 as route reflector each other, client each other. Can you please check to see this behavior, and you will configure it to see how it will change so that we can understand it very well.
Okay, so let me think of one thing before I do that thing for you. Let's shut down the link between R2 and R3 first. So on the R2 side, it is E0/3. We're gonna shut it down.
Or we can do neighbor shut thingy as well, you mentioned before.
Yes, so we can do the neighbor shut as well.
Yeah. By the way, I want to tell everybody I already studied CCNP from Shank, and that's why I have a kind of good knowledge, I would say.
Okay. Okay, so now what is the issue? Now our issue is we are not learning R6 and R7 loopbacks on our R3. Okay, because R2 is sending the routes to R1, but R1 is not advertising to R3. So let me show you. Okay, so what is show IP BGP and neighbor IP is, just a second guys, let me just set the screen. Okay, show IP BGP neighbor and 10.12.0.1 and then the command is advertise routes. Okay, so he is advertising, R2 is advertising its routes to R1, but R1 is not advertising those routes to R3. So show IP BGP neighbor 10.13.0.3 advertise routes. Okay, so it is advertising only 1458. It is not advertising 6 or 7, which is R3 is sending, R2 is sending. Okay, because of that rule that I have told you. Your routes, which is learned from non-client, should not be sent to eBGP. So what you can do, first of all, what we can do is we can make R2 as our route reflector client for R1 only. Okay, so that is the only change we will do as of now. So what I can do, show run section BGP, and for my R2 neighbor, I will make that neighbor as a client for R1. Okay. So once I've done that, now if I go to R3, now I have a route, okay, of 6 and 7. But now if I not make R1 as a client of R2, then the reverse traffic will not come because again the same rule, because of same rule. So okay, because R2 is a client, so again your traffic will come, so that is okay. So this is between if you want to send R2 site routes towards your R3. So again, to mitigate that rule, we have done this. Okay. So anyone having any question or doubt in this?
All good, buddy.
But now my problem is, if R1 goes down, how can I reach R3? So again, first of all, definitely I need a physical connection in between, right? So whatever we have done, we have shut it down. So we need to enable it. And then what I can do, I can make R2 as also a route reflector client of R3. Oh, I didn't close the domain server. That's why it is taking time. Just a second. Meanwhile, we shut it down on R2 side or R3 side? I think we shut it down on R2 side. Yes. So config T interface E is 0/3 no shut. Okay, so now it is no shut. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna go on R3 and show IP, show run section BGP. Router BGP. So we're gonna create our R2 as a route reflector client. Okay. And to provide extra redundancy, we can do it between all those three of those. So right now, we done R1, R2, R3, R2. Okay, but we can do it for others as well. So shown on section BGP. Okay, so for R3, I have made both sides as a route reflector client. And for R1, so this is in the designs where we provide the redundancy. Route reflector client. And then in R2, okay, show IP, show run. So now your middle routers, which are R1, R2, R3, are also route reflector client with each other. So now you have a full redundancy where you are having your routes can be exchanged between each other. Okay, and all these are dual route reflectors. So if one goes down, so it will take the another part to go down, to go to a particular prefix. But now this creates some other issue. So what is that issue? Let's discuss. So now each are each other client. Okay, so and they are route reflector of each other as well. So anyone can send prefix to anyone. So now the point here is R4 send its route to R1. Okay, and R1, R2, R3 are route reflectors of each other. So R1 send it to R3. Okay, the same route. And then R3 is gonna send it to R2. And then R2 is gonna send it to R1.
Hey, I have a quick question.
Yes.
Loop.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, tell me.
Okay, so if R1 goes down, then R4 and the other one, R5, probably will not reachable to any device, right?
Sorry, if
R4 and R5, if R1 dies or R1 is
yes. So again, in this design, I didn't make the dual route reflector, but again, yes.
okay.
That is the point.
Okay, carry on. I have a few questions, but which I will ask you later. Thank you.
Okay, but here now what is happening? Now tell me, guys. So this is a loop.
Yes.
Okay, so if you are going with a redundancy design, so always remember you have a possibilities of loop. Okay, so now how to avoid that loop? So that loop will be avoided automatically. Okay, and how it gonna avoid it? So there are two attributes which automatically enabled when you enable the route reflectors. So what are those two attributes? So first attribute is your originator ID, and second one is gonna be cluster ID and cluster list. Okay, so let me show you what is the meaning of that. So here I'm left with S. Okay, so so if I go on my R1 and if I do show IP, first of all, let's see show IP BGP. Okay, so now you can see multiple paths for a particular prefixes, but they are choosing one best route. So again, how they are choosing, let me tell you. So show IP, let's take R4 is also R4. Let's take the R4 example. So show IP BGP 4.0.0.0. Or let's take someone which is not directly connected to it. Okay, 10 is not, okay, 10, 10, 10, 10. Okay, so now see it here, guys. So let's read this output. Okay, so BGP routing table for this, you have two paths available, okay, to reach this subnet. So what are those two paths? If you see in the diagram, to reach 10, 10, 10, 10, you from R1, you have two different paths. So one via R1, R3, R10, another one via R1, R2, R3, R10. Okay, out of which best is second path, which is it's taking. So, which is this one. Okay, but now to understand this, both the sides, it is learning the route from its client. Okay, so it is receiving it from here. In this case, it is receiving it from 12.2. Okay, which is R2. So this is from R2. It is learning, and it is learning via R3. Okay, so from 10.3.3.3, which is R3. So from there it is learning, and it is taking this as a best path. This is via which you can identify which is it is taking as a best. Okay. Now the point is why it is not making loop. Okay. So these are the two main characteristics. Okay. So what is gonna happen? The first attribute is originator ID. So what is this attribute? So this is the attribute created by the route reflector. But what it gonna show you? It gonna show you the router ID of the router that is originated that route. So in our case, R10 is the router which is originated this route. So it is having the IP 10.10.10.10. I have created this IP as a loopback. Okay. So by default, it's gonna take the loopback IP as a router ID in the BGP. So this is the router ID of the router which is originating that route. Okay. So what it gonna help? It gonna help a routing loop like in the route reflector. Like that way, if a router reflector, if your route reflector will get a route which is from this originator ID, it will not advertise that route back to the originator of the prefix. So if you see in this diagram R1, R2, and R8, let's take this thing. So here your R8 getting your R1 is getting the route of R8 from directly R1 and R2 as well. But now the point here is RR will not advertise a route back to the originator of the prefix. Okay. So if your originator is receiving a route with the same router ID, it will ignore it. Okay. So that is the case. So this is the first condition or first attribute which it gonna help in in avoiding your loop. Okay, the second is your cluster ID and cluster list. So if you see on the top blue rectangle, that is in the cluster of R3. Okay, so in the cluster of R3, your route reflector is R3, so it is having this. So cluster ID is gonna be your route reflector ID of that cluster. Okay, so R3 is the cluster ID of R3333 is the router ID of R3, which is the cluster list. Okay, so once your route come from that cluster, it gonna append the cluster list as your AS path list. Okay, so if you can see it here, it is right now, if from as on R1, it is learning via two paths. Okay, so let me draw it here so that you will get understanding. So here what is happening is your this route is coming like this. Okay, and it is also coming via this path. And this rectangle represents the cluster. Okay, so this is your 3333 cluster.
Can you show us R10 as well?
What you need to see on R10?
I want to see like how it's seeing the best route, basically. As you said here, like there are two best routes to
So again,
reach
this
to.
is for your R10 prefix.
Right.
There you need to see it for R1. Because it is own originating, so it's not going to show you any of the best route, because R10 is the loopback, which is R10 is originating. So there is no best route because it is its own local route, right? So again, whatever you want to see, I'm going to show you. Just let me complete my thing. Okay, and then on this side, this is your 2222 cluster. Okay, which is the router ID of R2. So what is happening here is, as your route is propagating through the clusters in the route reflector, it's gonna append your cluster list. Okay, like your AS path. So first it started from 3333, so it will have the 3333, and then it is having 2222. Okay, because it comes from 2222. Okay, so now what gonna happen? So loop is not gonna happen, because once it reaches to R1 and then R1 is tries to send it back, right? So
Yes.
once it reaches to R3, it gonna see its
Its
own
own.
cluster ID.
Yes, yes.
Okay, and as soon as it's seen its own cluster ID, it gonna reject that one.
It will drop it, yeah.
Yes, so it gonna drop it. So if I see show IP BGP 10.10.10.10, you can see the best one is directly, which is it is coming from its route reflector client. So again, it is also your R1 is also advertising that route to R3, but it is dropping it. Okay.
Yes.
So show IP BGP neighbor 10.13.0.3 advertise routes. Okay. So you can see R1 is sending the 10.10.10 route to R3 as well. But now you can see it is not accepting that one.
Yeah.
Show IP BGP. But it will not even show you the second path. Okay, because it knows it is directly connected to with my route reflector client and I am reaching it directly. Okay, so this is how it gonna avoid loop between your cluster, and originator ID is used so that in this case, in the below case, if you have a route which is originated from particular, which is connected to both route reflectors. So now you see it here. R8 is sending the routes to both R1 and R2, right? So let
Yes.
me zoom it. So where is the use of cluster? Where is the originator use? You can identify it now. So R8 is sending it to R1, R8 is sending to R2. So R1 is also sent to R2, right?
Yes.
And R2 is gonna send it back to R8. So this is how you can create a loop. So but once R2 is sending to R8, it gonna see its originator ID as 8888. And now it identified, okay, this is the me. This is my own route because I have my own originator ID in that route. So it gonna drop it here so that you will not get a loop. So this is the role of your originator ID. And cluster ID is the role wherever you have a different clusters and you are dropping it between the cluster. Okay. So this is the most advanced level topic, okay, which I have taught you related to originator ID, route reflectors, client of one route reflector to another, dual route reflectors. So again, you will not get any other scenario related to route reflector. This is all you have.
A quick
Okay.
question, Shank. Is there any difference in cluster ID or cluster list?
Okay, so cluster ID is the router ID of the route reflector of that cluster. Okay, And
Yes.
cluster list is the list which is appended wherever your route is going through.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah,
now,
yeah, yeah.
okay, so now you can see show IP BGP 10, 10, 10, 10. So now you can see this route is coming via two different clusters. But again, this cluster ID is basically a single ID.
Yes.
Okay,
And
if I
list
want, I can change this one as well. Okay, so 2222 is the by default it took. Okay, so
Yeah.
if I want to change, there is a command. So let me just show you quickly on 222, which is a route reflector for your 222 cluster. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna type router BGP 65535 and then BGP cluster ID. Okay, and then 22.22.22. So if I give it like that,
is it
now,
preemptive? Oh yeah, got it. Yeah.
okay, so now your cluster ID is changed. Okay, so which is 22.22.22.22. So you can change it as well.
Thanks, Shank.
Yes, so Amir, tomorrow I'm gonna send you. So tomorrow our backend team gonna send it. Okay, so you need to join the WhatsApp group, which is present in the chat. You will get the topology and the configuration, which I have done. Okay, so guys, this is all related to the topic that I need to teach. Again, if you have any questions, so let me know.
I have one question.
Yes.
Maximum how much clients can be connected to
No
one
limit.
route reflector? No
No
limits.
limit.
And
So
there
again,
can be okay.
Yes.
Okay. There can be one another scenario like master route reflector and slave route reflector, right?
So again, it depends on your traffic flow here. If you see R1 and R2 are both the route reflector for R8.
Okay.
Okay. But it depends if you want to go traffic towards R6, so it can go via R2. So again, there is no master and slave configuration here. Both route reflector gonna be active. Okay. It depends on your topology, how they are learning the route. Okay.
Okay,
If you
right.
want,
Thank you.
you can adjust it via prefix list or AS par list.
Right. Thank you.
Okay. So Rohan, again, I'm gonna take the labs of the topics which are in the blueprint. So again, we're gonna do the topics like that. Okay.
Shank, thank you for this. I got a clear picture of BGP route reflector now. I'm wondering what would be the topic for tomorrow.
So tomorrow is gonna be related to the port channel, virtual port channel, VSS, all that type of stuff.
All right, thank you.
Okay. So again, guys, any other question related to the batch timings? So again, for the cost, you can connect on the WhatsApp group on the phone number that is pasted in the chat already, right? So everything is present. Also on the website, you can go to our website and then here on this page, networkjourney.com, CC Enterprise Lab. So let me just paste it for you guys as well. Okay, so this is the page where you can go and you can connect with us. Okay, anyone having any other doubt before we wrap up for today's session?
Now, I know you have told us that SDWAN you will start after finishing CCNP and core. Do you have any month like in October or November or December where it's gonna be? Or
so it's gonna be on the most probably after 15th of November, I can say. But before that, I'm gonna start one other batch in the weekend for SDWAN. So those who can handle multiple batches, they can join. There is no compulsion. If you want to join multiple or parallel batch, then later on after 15th of November, we can start. Okay.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah. Anyone having any other question?
Is a retake is an option? Like if I have take class and the concepts are still not clear, can we retake it?
For CCI, you are talking about or SDWAN?
Both.
So right now, again, these are the two batches that we have planned, okay, till January. After that, we not yet planned our calendar. So again, it depends. If we planned, then you can do it. Otherwise, you need to
I mean,
go with
like
the
you can
videos.
join one of the class, like where you think that you are lacking any concept or anything, like just like
Yes.
today's class, right? You have another session going on, and I can jump on the session just
Yes.
to.
So
Okay.
again, if we are running it, then you can do it. But there is
Okay.
no surety that after these two batches we're gonna do it, because again we need to start with CCI data center and service provider in future as well. Okay, so after January we're gonna think of that as well. So right now these are the only two batches. But if we are running any batch, you can do the retake. That is not an
Okay.
issue.
Okay. So CCA Enterprise, one last question about Eve and G or the topology, and we have to do the so if for me or for anyone else in the group like wants to run on their PC, like you need like 32 GB of RAM
Yes,
and
that is a minimum requirement, and
minimum
at
requirement.
least quad core we need it. It is good if you go with 6 core and 64 GB of RAM.
Oh, okay.
That helps you in future as well.
Got it. Okay. And same
But
for the ACI as well, like you can run the ACI on quad core.
so ACI virtual emulator you can run on the quad core as well as on 16 GB of RAM. SDWAN, our topology, you can run on 32 GB.
Okay.
And
Sorry, I have one more question. So when you say simulator, we can like, let's say if I don't, I was interested in one of the ACI class, so the one you are starting on 25th. So we're going to install the simulator, because simulator only allows two leaves and one spine, right?
yes, but again, concept is same. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Oh, okay.
If you do it with 3 device or if you do it with 300 device.
Right.
Things gonna be same, right?
But you cannot add like servers in it, or you have servers built in
So
into the.
ESXi servers you can edit if you want.
Okay. In the simulator
Bare
as well?
metal, yes. Bare metal you cannot do it, but ESXi you can do it.
Oh, okay. I see.
Okay, even I have a lab where we do the dynamic integration between the VMware ESXi and our vCenter and our ACI Epic. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Is there any batch you starting, Shank, for ACI next week?
Yes, I am starting a ACI batch for 25th, so you guys can contact with the backend team. We already done a demo for ACI on 11th of September, 11th and 12th. So you can watch the video on YouTube link. We have our video recorded available as well.
I already know, Shank, how you teach, so I'm okay with that. So I'll join.
Okay. Sure. Thank you.
Also,
what else can't say? I don't know why. With the batch, start with help on Eve environment setting up. Iga, I didn't get your question.
hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I was just wanted to know about the help we can have in setting up the environment to practice. At the beginning of the batch, will we get that kind of support?
Yes, we have a dedicated lab trainer. You will get support if you want to set it up on your system. You can set it up. Our trainer, lab trainer, gonna help you. If you want to do it on our racks, our servers, you can do it on our racks as well. We have our servers and racks placed in two different locations. One is in Hyderabad and another one is gonna be on Bangalore.
Okay, thank you. And the last question is, the coming lab is for people who are going to take the exam, what range of time?
Sorry?
I mean, if you want to take the CCIE lab exam, like in March 2022, what batch can you advise to take?
So see, CCIE Enterprise will take 3 months, right? So right now, one batch we are starting from 25th and another one is gonna be starting from 16th of October, but that is gonna be weekdays batch. Okay, so there are 2 batches which we're gonna run, and it's gonna take 3 months. And so guys, this is the topology on which we're gonna do our complete labs for CCIE. Okay, and more devices also I need to add it here. So again, but again, this is gonna be our topology for CCIE where we have SDWAN and all that stuff.
Yeah, but Shank, as we have not learned the SD1 when we start with this topology. We will not be configuring SD1 till we start studying SD1.
Yes. So again, the sites which are connected to SDWAN, I make the different, that is to be a separate site. So later on, when you study the SDWAN, then we're gonna integrate it.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Okay, guys, any other question before we wrap up? We have still 3 minutes left before we close the session. Okay, guys, so again, one last time. So again, we are going to close the registration in next 3 days because I need to plan for CCNP and core as well. So that with the current batch. So right now we are going to provide the CCNP and core and RC and SDWAN free of cost, those who gonna enrolled in next 3 days with us, okay, for this CCI. Okay.
Sir, is there any requirement to take this batch, the CCIE lab batch?
If you are just going directly on the CCI batch, at least you should have an ENCOR level of knowledge.
Yes, but if you pass this knowledge, if you have this knowledge and you pass the CCIE, the core exam like 7 months ago, is it okay? Is it any refresh topics to when working on?
On the ENCOR exam you are talking about?
No, actually, I got the core exam, and then, but I got it in February.
So ENCOR exam you passed in February. That is what you are saying, right?
Yes, I passed it. I passed it.
Yes. Okay. So, but again, it's okay if you are passing it or not passing it. That is not a issue for me. Only the point is you should know the concepts, right? And if you not know the concept, free of charge, we are enrolling you in ENCOR and ENARSI class, so you can study the concept again with me. I'm gonna take personally that class. Okay. So that is gonna be on the weekdays, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. IST. So it's totally depend on you if you want to take it or you not want to take it. Okay.
Thank you.
Anyone else? We still have 1 minute left. So any other question, guys, before we wrap up? And again, guys, make sure you join that WhatsApp group, which is right now present in the chat. All your questions, answers will gonna be provided via our backend team. And related to pricing, you can also contact our backend team. They're gonna provide you the pricing and all. Okay, and the enrollment will only work for next 3 days, but after that it's gonna be closed. Yes, Rohan,
Sorry, Mr. Shank. Hello,
but
Mr. Shank.
yes.
Yeah, sorry. I think on the WhatsApp group, we don't really have the privilege to send message. I think it's only admin.
Okay, so yes, so what you can do is on the number which is present, you can just contact on that number. Okay.
Okay.
So yes, so here also on our website, this is the number 97 plus 91 9739521088. So on this number you can contact if you have any question, or this is the email address, or else on the WhatsApp group you will get updates and all. Okay. So you can also ping the group admin of the WhatsApp. So that will also work. Okay, directly one-to-one. Okay, guys. So thank you everyone for joining. Tomorrow again we're gonna take the session where we're gonna take the 4th channel topic in depth, and then yes, Prashant, tell me. And then we're gonna start it from next week.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Prashant, what is your question before I'm wrapping up? Can you unmute me to Prashant? So here, guys, due to a lot of participants, we do this unmute and mute procedure, but in my classes, everyone is unmute by default. Okay, yes, Prashant, tell me.
Sir, I have a very small question. So right now my age is 42. And I have from different background, which is enterprise resource planning.
Okay,
But
ERP.
my interest was CCI from last so many years. So I have
Mhm.
started learning CCI myself. Right now I am learning CCNP myself only. And right now I want to join for this course. So is there any point that where I can get the job in good industry on this current age?
So where you have you worked before in the networking environment?
No, sir, no. I have worked with enterprise resource planning. That was complete different background.
Yes, yes, ERP I can understand.
I was working with Infor LN software, but due to I lost my job before 2 years. From that day to till I am doing my study in own. I have learned, just started learning BGP from day before yesterday. And I just want to ask that shall I get the job after completing the CCI?
So again, to be really frank with you, I can give you the honest answer. There are chances which can increase, but again, you can try after. So what I suggest you should also do CCNP certification first. Okay. So ENCOR is basically mandatory for you, right?
Right.
After that, you can go with the CCI lab, but in parallel, what you will do, there is a concentration exam of SDWAN, which you try to do it. Okay. Once you pass the SDWAN exam, you will have a CCNP certification and then start trying to get a job, because again, working experience is also needed, right? So yes. So again, after in parallel, you can go with CCI as well, but do not wait till passing the CCI to get your job. Okay.
But right now I am learning NRC module. So instead of NRC, shall I go for SDWAN?
Your choice. If you are going with, so what I suggest is go for with NRC only, because NRC has the concepts which will help you in CCI as well. NRC syllabus will come around 70% in CCI, SDWAN will come only 30%.
Okay, sir. Okay, so no
Okay,
problem.
so
I'll contact to you.
Yes, also we have a WhatsApp group, Telegram group,
I have already
where
joined,
we are
sir.
posting. Yes.
I have already joined. I have joined so late because of
Yes.
some
So
function going on.
my right suggestion to you is do not wait to pass CCI to get the job. Okay. Because again, passing CCI is again not a joke. It is needs a lot of dedication and hard work.
Right.
So
Right.
yes, do not wait till that time. Try to pass your CCNP first, and then you will start in parallel your CCIE exam. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
And if you have time, you can join our course
Yes,
as
sir.
well.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, guys. So that's all for today. Anyone having any other questions, or you can just contact with our backend team, and they're gonna help you in that. Okay, so you can join the WhatsApp group. They're gonna provide you all these things, our today class and your video recording, all that stuff. Okay, and also the detailed training is already posted in the. There's a link in the chat where your detailed training details also present here. Okay, so thanks a lot, everyone. You have 3 days to enroll. After that, we're gonna close the enrollment. Okay, so thank you everyone for your time, and let's meet it again tomorrow at the same time. Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
Shank, for your today's session.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Mr. Shan.
Thank you.